Okay, so my original recording of this got deleted, and I'm going to keep this very short, sweet, and to the point. If you need me to explain any more, I'll just do it in the comments. So I have to thank Winged Unicorn for this video simply because I originally was not going to do this. Simply because I was apprehensive about it, because I think it's a little too early to be talking about it, but at the same time, I think it should be talked about, considering what Winged Unicorn said in her video about Viva. So, her original talking point was that she is worried to enjoy the character of Viva and also potentially maybe collect merchandise. I don't really know, but I'm throwing that in there because I talked about it in my last Viva video, so I'm gonna add it here. She's worried to grow attached to Viva because if she does, DreamWorks can easily take her away in the next Trolls film. Now, I do not agree with the Viva point only because she's being heavily marketed on merchandise, heavily marketed in cross promotions like America's Got Talent. At the same time, she's in like 2 video games, so I think that girl's safe. But Winged Unicorn, she has a point, but it's not a good one. Not what she's saying, her opinion's bad, but her perspective. It's not healthy for DreamWorks with this franchise. It's not good on their part. See, Trolls created a problem. It's existed since 2016. I've been through it in other videos, but to concise it, they invented the snack pack in the first film, but they didn't get a lot of content. The merchandise in the long run helped them because they had the character bios on the back of every piece of merchandise for the toys and plushies and all of that. Books also carried them as well. Now, that's external media, but at the time, that external media wasn't that bad, you know. On top of that, we had Holiday. Not too much, but it was cute to see the snack pack again. They got a little bit more content. And then we had Trolls The Beat Goes On, and everyone was fine. We got to know the snack pack a little bit better. Poppy and Branch had moments with them. Things were good for the snack pack. But then Trolls World Tour happened. And it overall, that animation wise, good era. Nuanced opinions on all of the animation we got during that era. But smooth sailing on that front to an extent. We'll get to the semi-smooth sailing in a bit. Merchandise-wise, Hasbro removed bios on the back of merchandise. At the same time, not every Trolls character was made into a toy. Now, someone will say, but what about the tiny dancers? I don't count that. That's not a toy. Those are accessories. You can make bracelets, hair clips, and rings out of those. Those are not toys. And then the nail in the coffin was Trollstopia. Now, I like Trollstopia. Nuanced opinions on that one. But a lot of fans, when they heard about Trollstopia, they were expecting another Beat Goes On. Everyone was pretty chill with not having the voice cast of World Tour and having new people. Would take time to get used to, but hey, we get more of the World Tour characters. We did not. We only got Chaz, controversial take, but I don't mind what they did with Chaz. And King Trolloc showed up in the series finale. It also didn't help that it was also the episode that DJ Suki left the cast. So, yeah, kind of messy there. But the other messy part was the World Tour characters did not return, and we got the Trollstopia characters. Now, in the Trollstopia characters' defense, because they were cooking with those characters, but in the defense of the creators, I don't know if a lot of Trolls fans know this, but there is a thing called mandates. And what mandates are is they rules and guidelines of how you should do things. There's a lot of rules and mandates on how Poppy, Branch, etc. should be characterized. You could see how there's a lot of limitations when developing a Trolls TV show. And the Trolls Topia delegates were pretty much created to resolve those problems. Trolls Topia is done, but let's just say Peacock wants to make another one. The Trolls Topia characters are literally like right there, and when developing an episode, it's just going to be smooth sailing. But if it's an episode with Poppy, Viva, and Branch, that one's going to be a little bit of a challenge because of mandates. So in that regard, all right, I could give Trolls Topia a little bit of leeway, but we're out of that era now, and it's kind of a reflecting period. And yeah, like I love Trolls Topia, have some nuanced opinions on it, but yeah, not having the World Tour character kind of shines a light on the biggest problem. And then when we have Band Together, and the only character from World Tour we're seeing is Prince D, kind of like in Holiday in Harmony, we got some problems. Now, we're lucky that we're in the Moose Toy and Mattel era. Now, from Moose Toys, they're making blind bags, and not blind bags, but they're kind of inspired by the 2016 Trolls blind bags. And here's the thing with them. Those toys have the Band Together cast, which is something we should focus on, the snack pack, and World Tour characters. That's a lot. I can tell that they care. They care about these other supporting cast characters. So things seem to be good in the merchandising department. But from a media perspective, it's not looking too great. And to go back to Winged Unicorn's point, now's a good time for the brand to just take a break. You have so many characters, and so many characters you're not even utilizing. Now's a good time for a break. At the same time, it's good for the merchandise because really one of my biggest problems with World Tour and kind of knowing why World Tour didn't do so great, not only from Hasbro not having a lot of money, also My Little Pony Generation 5, they act like they didn't steal a lot from DreamWorks Trolls, but they stole a lot from DreamWorks Trolls. But other than that funny little thing I just said there, we have like the issue of trying to make Trolls a global franchise. Now, not a problem. I'm all for it. They were cooking in that Japan era. But the UK, they got better merchandise than what we were getting in the US. And what I mean by that is like they don't over there in the UK, they didn't have a Just Play, but they had a company that literally made characters of plushies we didn't even have in the US. They got a Hickory plushie over there. Like that's not really fair. But yeah, no, a lot of the things that they were doing in non-US territories, like they were making sure that it was a bigger brand over in other regions. I don't have a problem with that one, but they screwed over the US big time. So I think now's a good time to take a break so that way the brand can just like focus on everyone around the world. And in taking that break, everyone wins in terms of a merchandising standpoint. Not to mention, now, in those pamphlets, they revealed that Trolls is a big brand, but it's a big brand in the UK and Germany. That's a good sign, but that's like two parts of the world. And you got to remember, here's something, if you don't remember me ever saying this in a video, but 2016 Trolls was big. Like, it was beating Frozen merchandise at the time, newcomer Moana, and when Trolls got released, Pokemon Sun and Moon merchandise was released. It beat that and Frozen and up and coming right beside them Moana. That's big. That's big. World Tour, I don't think they were doing that big in that era for the US side of things. So, from a merchandising standpoint, yeah, taking a break will definitely help the brand in that department. Now, how do we resolve the character issue in the media itself? That's simple. If you're taking a theatrical break, then everywhere else, that's where you need to focus on the characters. During the 2016 era, like, we got chapter books. Like, I own Guy Diamond and the Rainbow Roundup, and other videos I hyped that book up. And it's because it focuses on Guy Diamond. DJ Suki was a supporting character. Out of nowhere, Karma shows up, and like, I love that character, and she's like no longer used. So we have that. So let's bring back chapter books, and while you're at it, partner up with someone like IDW and make comics again. Or that old company, your Paperclips, I think they were called. Partner up with them, like, do comics again. You have video games now. That's a good avenue. And we got an original story that feels ripped out of Trollstopia and Trolls the Beat Goes On. That's a good sign. So if this, I highly recommend, if you have a console, like if you got a Switch or something, like, I recommend supporting that game. And maybe the kart racer too. And then after that, I will say this. I saw someone tweet about being apprehensive of a new Trolls TV show. I would love it. I would watch. But I do have to admit, the Trollstopia problem of, like, the movie characters that, you hyped up for a year in merchandise and pre-marketing before the movie released, then the movie released, then you got the merchandise, and then you had, like, Holiday and Harmony, and while Trollstopia Season 1 came out before it, like, you hyped up these characters, had a movie, and then you're telling us, nah, you get Chaz and Trollocs at the end of the series, but that's all you're getting. So yeah, like, I would love a new show, but I'm very apprehensive. I would just say this: do what fans were expecting for Trollstopia. Like, quite literally, just if the voice actors don't return, just get someone else. Like, we got used to Skylar and Amanda pretty quickly, so, like, I don't think a problem would arise with the non-celebrity voices. So there you go. That we solved the TV problem. But either way, TV show, no TV show, I'm fine with that. But the one idea that I said a long time ago during the scare of World Tour, a lot of people disagreed with me. If the franchise went under theatrically, straight to DVD is a good option for them. And the reason why I say that is because in the Toy Fair pamphlet that I brought up earlier about merchandising wise, they did say that Trolls World Tour was a big digital streaming movie, and I'm not shocked. We were in the Pan-D during that time. Miss Rona's World Tour definitely affected movies, and Trolls World Tour changed movies at the same time. So I don't know if that's like a good boast or a weird boast, but it's a boast nonetheless. But I am kind of curious with the digital part, though. Outside of Miss Rona's World Tour affecting movies, I'm kind of curious if World Tour and the first film are good digital streamers. And if so, I think they should take advantage of that. Not to mention the DVD market, too. Like, kids are born every day of the week. At the same time, like, older people might want a movie night and might want something like Trolls. So there's that. Not to mention, like, the TV shows, except for Trollstopia right now. But World Tour got fully released on DVD. Not to mention we have 2 holiday movies on DVD. That's a lot of Trolls DVDs right there. But on top of that, the Peacock streaming service, their kids section, outside of their DreamWorks content, it just is not it. So let Trolls be a straight to DVD thing. Here's some tea. Universal lost a lot of straight to DVD options. Barbie and Monster High left them. They're over at different companies now. And Curious George, that show ended years ago, so they haven't made a Curious George sequel in a very long time. So Trolls straight to DVD movies that are not holiday movies can benefit digital, DVD, and Peacock. So you got a moneymaker right there, but also you have a means to give Trolls fans what they want. You can make a movie where Viva, Holly, and Val are the main characters, but you do gotta throw in your Poppies and your Branch. You gotta make sure they're part of it to make it marketable. So you got that. You could do a movie where Hickory shows up again. You see where I'm going at here. There are avenues that we can have a rest with theatrical troll movies, but you're not stopping alternative media, but you're also giving Trolls fans what they want in terms of the supporting cast. So there you go. The problem, the solution. Hopefully, DreamWorks or someone sees this. I do want to hear feedback from the fandom. I want to know what you think of this.